We are creating a adventure lab. That next on Geocaching with Simrebel. Well, if you haven't heard, I won a adventure lab from Komikino from Seattle. He had a little contest. Check it out here.
A couple months ago, I had a contest going on where I was giving away a lab cache. Geocaching headquarters gave me a couple lab caches because of the Adventure Lab Cache video that I made way back in March. They liked it so much, they gave me a couple lab caches and also said that they could give me a lab cache that I could give away to one of my viewers. I decided to make it a contest to give away to a geocaching vlogger who maybe had a great location in their area that would make for an awesome lab cache. So in this episode here, I'm going to go ahead and announce the winner of that lab cache contest. But now, just to show that I'm not going to throw this event in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to have Late Trap reach in and pull out the second place winner that gets a lab cache. Wow, I'm just giving lab caches away like crazy today. You want a lab cache one of these days? Yeah. Maybe you'll get a lab.
I'll swish it around.
Maybe you'll get a lab cache one of these days here. Okay. So don't look in.
I can't find the paper.
Oh, wow.
There it is. Okay, you ready?
Okay. And the second place winner who gets the lab cache is
Number one.
Brent.
Brent.
You get a lab cache too. How about that? Awesome. Thank you, Late Trap, for making that drawing.
Enjoy it.
So thanks, Komikino, for the lab adventure. So we're going to be creating that lab. We got a Google document to go through the process here, and we're going to follow it and create ourselves a lab adventure of 10 lab caches. So this is a docs on Google Docs for setting up a lab. Pretty simple read through here. And we'll get started. First thing we gotta do is do a multi-cache up to check the locations. Okay. So after you find your locations, you need to create a multi-cache with like do not publish adventure lab location check, and post all your locations for the labs and send it in for a local reviewer to do a location check to make sure that they are in a good location. Okay, so I misread the information on the how to create, and I didn't need to send in the multi-cache because I don't have any physical cache caches located out there. So that's only if you're putting down a physical container. So one extra step I didn't need to do, but learning curve. So basically you need a name, and then you put in the coordinates, it'll verify it on the map, and then you put in your fencing, how far you want them to be able to log the item from the distance from the actual thing. So I just put it in at 40 meters here, and then a little write-up, and then you can put a description video in YouTube, which this one actually has a video on it, and then the question, and then the code that they need to type in, and then you could put a finishing video or picture at the end. I just got a picture at the end, and save it, and you're good to go. So I'm out at the lab cache location, one of the locations here, and the information's on the plaque behind me to answer it. All the labs are done up, so I'm just in the testing process, going through and making sure they all work. This is the Norfolk County Courthouse and Galos. Another location in Simcoe, and another sign up here. This is a plaque on founding of Simcoe, named after Governor General Simcoe of Upper Canada. So we've got to get the information and move on. Alrighty. So we're at another location, another sign. This is the Reverend Adolphus Egerton Ryerson, which he's a Methodist minister and really big in bringing schooling into Upper Canada. So another one checked out on the test, and on to the next. Okay, another location. We're in Victoria. Another sign over here, and this was the district capital of Upper Canada back in the 1800s. So another test done successfully, and we're moving on to the next one. Okay, outside Norfolk County Park, there's another plaque here. See it? William Pope. He was an artist, liked to draw a lot of nature things. So I got a cache sitting here too, so I'm gonna do a little cache maintenance. It hasn't been found for a while to see if it's still here. Alright, we're in Port Ryerson. Another plaque beside an old church here. There's a plaque back in there. Answered the question and everything works good. I made the fencing for this so you can log it from quite a distance, because I think maybe the Wi-Fi might be a little sketchy down here at times. So, or the cell service. So, should be able to get it from up on top of the hill going out of Ryerson if they need to. But I was able to log it from here, so maybe not needed. Anyways, that's 6 of the 4 caches checked on. I'm gonna have a couple buddies check Port Dover and Waterford. There's 3 in Waterford, or 3 in Dover and 1 in Waterford. Get them to check on those 4, and then have this lab adventure lab all published. Okay, so did the testing on 6 of the 10 yesterday. A buddy of mine stopped by the one in Waterford that's north of Simcoe and test that last night, and my other buddy just tested the 3 in Port Dover, which is south of us. Unfortunately, 2 were okay, and 1, the plaque was missing. The pole's still there for the plaque, but the actual sign's not missing. So, hence I'm bringing to this plaque, which is a backup plaque, and it's W.M. Bro William Mercer Wilson, who is really big into the Masonic Lodge and bringing the Masonic Lodge to Upper Canada. And if you know the Masonic Lodge, a lot of U.S. presidents were Masonic members, so it's a really big fraternal member. So, the thing these things all have common is they were all waymarking from the waymark sites. The William Pope was one of mine. This one I didn't choose right off the bat because it wasn't on the waymark site, but since I'm here, I'm creating a waymark on the website, so there'll be a waymark here, so all the lab caches can double qualify as waymarking if you're into waymarking. So back to the office to submit it. So if you're not familiar with waymarking, if you're a geocaching.com member, you also can use waymarking.com with the same username and password, and they're like virtual caches. In most cases, you just have to go and take your picture at the place that it's represented. So it could be anything. They have restaurants, bridges, signs, landmarks of other sorts. So they're not counted as geocaches, but they are counted as waymarks, and some cachers do both. So waymarking.com. So here we go with the Norfolk Historical Tour, 10 locations. This adventure lab will take you to historic plaques in Norfolk County. You can start at any of the locations and can do them all in 2 hours, or do one here or there. I suggest you take time and look around and enjoy the county. So 10 locations, one up in Waterford, a couple in Simcoe, Victoria, a couple in Dover, Port Ryerson, and along 24 Highway. So the Waterford one is the founding of Waterford. And Waterford is a community in Norfolk County. Big for railways. And then there's two in Simcoe. There's the founding of Simcoe, named after Lieutenant Governor John Graves Simcoe. And then the Norfolk County Courthouse in Galos. Driving south out of town, we have the William Mercer Wilson, who I just put the last lab out for, and he's a prominent figure in the Masonic Lodge. And then the Halfway House, the Reverend Adolpha Egerton Ryerson, who is big in the public education sector. And then we go to Victoria, and Victoria was the Western District capital of Upper Canada at one time. And we go south. William Pope, he was an artist, painter, and really did nature paintings. And over to Port Ryerson, the Loyalist Refugee, American Revolution. He settled and built mills. And then we go to Dover, and plaque on Campbell's Raid. There's actually a video on the burning of Dover Mill. And Port Dover was raided in the War of 1812, and a lot of houses and that were burnt down by this Campbell. And then the second locate is Robert Nickel. And he was big in the manufacturing of mills and stuff. So the first weekend it was out, it was found by 4 people, or 4 caching groups. So Dougie B, I had a great time driving around Norfolk County and learning about its history. Thanks so much for putting out this adventure and bringing me to this location. And then Team JL2 had a great time discovering history of the area, even saw a humongous mansion. And ALS T1910A, type nerd, and I toured about the area and picking up a few extra targets of interest. Had a great day out. Thanks for setting up this well laid out adventure. And then typing nerd, thank you very much for setting out these caches. We enjoyed the hunt and finds. We also learned a lot about the topographical history and development of the area. We saw recently harvest fields, churches, cemeteries, place to come back and visit again, and good cache locations. So there you have it. My adventure lab, well liked by the first 4 groups of cachers that went out and grabbed it. So looks pretty good. So if you get to Norfolk County, look it up and do it, and hope you do a adventure lab yourself. So till next time, cache you later, cache you on the trails.